Many people would ask, why do you choose to enter religious life? My usual answer is, I did not choose to enter. I realized I was just taking His call step by step. Even there are dark clouds ahead. Why did I say this? I first heard God's call when I accompanied my aunt in attending the Parents' Day in Maria Assumpta Seminary. I could vividly remember when the rector said, "We are in need of priests. We need laborers in the Lord's vineyard." Immediately I responded, "I want to volunteer, but how can I become a priest? I am a girl." So when we got home, I told my mom that I want to become a religious sister. It was not hard to express my desire in serving God to my parents because my mom was very committed to various religious organizations. And my dad had served in our parish for more than 20 years. And both of them were papal awardees. Recalling my younger days, I never thought of becoming a nun. Ever since I was a small kid, I could see and even meet the daughters of St. Paul in the house of my grandmother. Until I reached college, they still come to our house, and it irks me each time I could see them receiving money or rice from my parents. I told myself, I don't like those nuns. They just gain rice, sacks of rice without laboring for it. Because my orientation from my parents was, what do you gain should come from your own sweat. And I did not even care to know the name of the congregation they belong, nor I was not interested to know them. And I was wondering then why my parents were always giving them what they asked. And I kept these questions in my heart, without knowing that one day He will gently reveal the answers to me. Like St. Paul, He blinded me from where I was. When I finally decided that I want to become a religious sister, I looked for a congregation whose name is under the patron St. Paul. Because my cousin, who pursued to study in the seminary, enrolled in San Pablo Seminary. Thus, I chose the Daughters of St. Paul. And when I went to the convent of the Daughters of St. Paul and met Sister Luisa, the then Vocation Directress of the Paulines, I saw in the exhibit room posters of the sisters, and I recognized their faces. You know what I saw? They are the sisters who were asking rice from us. And they are the sisters whom I hated since childhood. Since I was determined to answer God's call, I calmed myself, accepted the application form, and wrote my biography and my desire to become a sister. Moreover, when Sister Luisa asked me, what do I want to do as a sister? I answered, I want to take care of the sick. Because that was my orientation, to help sick people like my father, who was a doctor, and my mother, who was a pharmacist. She told me that I have applied to a wrong congregation. I was challenged by her words, and that made me push myself to enter to the congregation, whom I was not attracted, and whose apostolate is in media, which is far from my dream. Now, I could feel how God worked in me to become an apostle of social communications. I never thought how He entrusted to me the religious radio and TV programs, from postulancy up to this stage of my life as a perpetual professed sister. He formed me and made me a media nun. With regards to begging, I myself am now begging because I too am a Yolanda typhoon victim. I beg for donations to acquire another set of instruments of social communications which we use for evangelization. to replace our gadgets that were all destroyed by storm surge. And I realized that begging for evangelization is a noble kind of work. I beg not for myself, but for the people whom we serve. And begging requires humility, simplicity, and much prayer. This wisdom in begging were then hidden from me when I was young, and now things are continuously revealing to me. I learned to put my soul on my mother's words. What you gain should come from your own sweat. I learned to open myself up to my Master, who called me and saved me. And I learned to love the congregation of the Daughters of St. Paul more than my